Okay, now before you get off-put by this video, I know it's a boring subject for most of us, but it needs to be said. There are some things that need to be said, and the idea of becoming self-employed I think is very daunting, at least it was for me, and that kind of whole realm of being, you know, your own boss is, yeah, it's kind of scary, and, well, most of us don't know where to start, or especially I didn't. And to be completely honest with you, I put this off as long as I could until I graduated, and I had to, you know. So yeah, we've all been there. It's not the friendliest and most exciting part of being a creator. So I just wanted to do, hopefully, a quick video of just some points and, you know, tips and advice or just basic things that you probably already know, but I want to say it just in case that some of you don't, or just, you know, want to see what I did or do. Now, the first biggest one, and is the clearest one that you need to do, is tax. Now, this might be normal for you, depending where you live, and most other countries, yes, everyone has to do this, it's just standards. But in the UK specifically, you have to register yourself as being self-employed or a freelancer, those kind of things. But if you're an actor, you're going to be one of them, self-employed, and yeah, you have to class yourself as it. You have to sign up to be it, basically. So the first thing you have to do is register, that is how you say it. You have to register on HMRC website. And it's under the self-assessment system. You have to register. You have to fill out all things like your national insurance, where you've lived over like the past 5 years, anything that's changed in your history, or, you know, just general things about yourself. You have to sign up via there. And then once you've done that, you have to go to gov.co.uk and you have to register there as well as whatever you are classed under. Most of us, if you're an actor, you'll be self-employed, you know, your own business. But this is where you'll find like the important things of your unique tax code, whether you have to pay for VAT, depending how much you earn in a year, all the things like that. The most important things that you need to write down, keep details for, because that's what you will need, yeah, for all the admin side of that. Next bit, when you come to the tax part of the year, is the tax return. Now, you have to do this every year for the previous years. Yeah. I'm probably not going to be the best person to explain this, but I'm trying to give you my point of view. But one way of doing a tax return is you get an accountant. Now, before you kind of go, huh? Yes, some of them can be expensive, but not all of them are. It depends who you go with, what type of company they are. Now, personally, I went with an accountant when I first started up. And the negative side of this is, yes, when you're first starting out, you may not be making a lot of money, so this will be a deficit in your money. You know, you're not, what's the word? You're not making enough profit to weigh up having that expenditure. I get it. But if you're like me, I have visual stress, I stress just in general, and just get overwhelmed very easily. So that kind of important stress side of it really freaked me out when I first started, and I didn't want to deal with it, to be completely honest with you. I wanted to make sure that I'd done it properly, or someone done it properly, and I can check over it and learn the system. So I signed up with a bigger accountant agency, I think that's the word for it, but they done my accounting to start off with, and it went really well. Fast forward how many years, I now have a different accountant that's a bit more personalised. They're recommended by a family member, and yeah, I just enjoy it a bit more because it's a bit more of a personal touch, and is that even the right word? But yeah, I trust them a lot more because I know it's going through one person, and if I have any questions, which I've had so many silly questions, they're not silly, you're just trying to learn, you know, they can respond like that. I can't click with that finger. That. So yeah, that's what I've done, and it's really benefited me, and the goal for me is to learn the system as I'm doing it, because obviously you have to sign and check everything once they've done it. So if I know that they say this is everything and it's all good, and I double check over it and I'm starting to learn it, then I can take over it eventually. And yeah, just know the system a little bit better, because they don't teach you this shit at school. They don't. They should. They don't. So yeah, I wanted to learn it from someone who has the experience and knowledge of it, and then I can pick it up after. But yeah, that's one option that you can do whether you're fortunate enough to pay how much for it. For me, it was worth it, and yeah, I wouldn't have done it any other way, to be honest. Well, actually, I would have preferred to learn it. Ignore that. That's one way of doing your tax returns. Second way is doing it yourself. This is probably the best way to learn it, to do it, to know it, to just understand that whole side of it as business as well. It is really important to learn it. And if this sort of thing excites you or challenges you and you can thrive off it, or just 10 times better than me, you are 10 times better than me. And yeah, this is a good way to do it. So yeah, you'll probably find it 10 times easier, and it can be simple. I would just say the biggest advice is give yourself a ton of time to do it, to double check, to maybe get someone to look over it for you, and not wait until the deadlines. You can do this online or paper, whichever one you prefer, which is the easiest way for you. Do that. Now, I just want to list off a couple tips and tricks and just general advice that people have given to me or I've learnt through online resources or, yeah, just other people. Here they are. Always keep your receipts, especially paper ones. Keep your receipts. File them away in your office, in a drawer somewhere. You will be thankful years later for being able to file it properly, looks all neat. And if you ever have to prove for whatever reason they may pick you at random, you have all of the receipts there ready. And you don't want to be sifting through loads of papers that's like the whole year's worth. Ew, no, you do not want that. Second one is scan your paper receipts. This is a bit of advice I was given when I first started out. Is basically, you know, most receipts you've kept in your purse for a little while and it actually starts to rub off or it fades. You know, each company, they use a different type of ink. Some of them actually start to fade after a couple of years, 5 years. You don't want that. So always scan them. I personally do it via, I think it's called Scan Appers. There's so many scan apps out there. I just scan them via my phone, detail what it is, whatever I want to label it, that goes with my filing on my computer, so I can oh my god, the word has gone out of my head. But yeah, you can reference it from your paper ones to your filing ones and in all your folders. But yeah, it's just a really good backup to have, and I would highly recommend it. And it makes it easier if you have to send it over to your accountant, or, you know, you have to send it online yourself for whatever reason, you have it already on your computer there. Next one is backups. As I just kind of briefly said, just back up all of your receipts, you know, especially if they're online. Just back them up. I know I can be a bit paranoid and a bit OTT with that sort of thing, but yeah, it stressed me out, the idea of not being able to find something, or something happened to my laptop, it crashed, or I lost it, or one of the hard drives cracked out and I had to use another one. Just back them up, whether it's on the cloud, online, Dropbox, a hard drive, you name it. It's good to have backups of all your folders, of your receipts and important documents, just in case you need it if something goes wrong one day. Next one is categorising it. That was probably the one that I was thinking of a minute ago. Well, needed a minute ago. But categorising each one of your folders so it's easy for you to go back in it and find exactly what you want. For example, I might list mine at the moment, I'll do 22, June, I'll say personal, beauty, the brand, and then what the product or item is. That's how I kind of label it. That's how I'd have it also in all of my paperwork and stuff, so I know exactly what category it is. Also, on your emails, for example, you know, for my Gmail, you can put different folders on the side. So I have one specifically for self-employed. So if there's anything really specific that I need and that's important, I can just go to it, find it, and then I'll never miss anything that's in my folders. Same again if it's like self-employed orders. They'll be there, ready. I can pick them out, find them with ease. Create an Excel sheet. Now this is probably the best thing to do in some form of organising and having a list of all your expenses. You know, I've found personally Excel being the best one. You can categorise them, you can do individual tabs, there's so many little things. If you would like me to show you or how I've made mine with other people's help, but how I've made mine, and I can find things with these, as I said, in different categories. Yeah, it's been the best thing. I just send that over to my accountant. I can personally double check if I've missed anything. They can check if there's anything missed. And also kind of helps me understand what things you can claim back on, what categories each one of them goes in. It's really helpful. I might have ones for travel expenses. I might have ones on food, on sites that I've had, on film sets, or incoming payments from jobs, which category they're from. Is it from screen? Is it from voiceover? Is it from motion capture? It's really good to have it all easily put. Oh, and also which bank account it's coming from, which card you're using, which one it's coming out from. It helps having it all down on file, and then you can just sum it up all at the end and how much you've spent for each one of those categories. And the next one is bank accounts. Now, you could personally set up a business bank account for all of your expenditures as self-employed. This could be really helpful, so you literally have it all in one place. You don't have to stress about your other million cards if you have that. You just have them all in one place, and it makes it so much easier to literally hand over the end of the year of this is what is my ins and outs. Ins and outs, incomings, outgoings, you know what I mean. Next one is learning what expenditures you can claim back under business expenditures. There's several different categories. Obviously, it depends what type of self-employed person you are, what category you fall under, blah, blah, blah. You can find that. I'll link everything or a lot of resources and helpful things and tips in the description where you can find different things. I'll put it all down below. Just have a little look at that. But you can claim back on different areas such as travel expenses, mobile phone, bank charges, delivery charges, equipment costs, utility costs. Did I say travel? You can do rent. Like lots of things like that. They can fall under the claims you can get back from expenses. But of course, double check what you can and can't, because it's a really good one to know and when you can save a bit of money. Another one is apps and programs that can help you with accounting. There are so many out there now. Of course, double check that they're all safe, secure, good ratings. But there are quite a few out there. To list a couple that I've looked into are Go Simple Tax, Square, TurboTax mobile app. And yeah, there's lots out there. Again, in the description, there's a few that's recommended by other self-employed people. But it just can help you track and easily log in your ins and outs, whatever app you've picked to help you with your business or whatever it is. They can be really good when you're on the go and you don't always have a laptop, or you've just bought something, you put it straight in the receipt, you can scan it. It's a good option to help you organise and keep on top of it. And so you don't have a pile of receipts at the end of the month to do. Or for me, it's 2 months I need to log. Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit boring. Sorry if you're offended. I find it boring. But it's just finding one that works for you and fits with you and your business. Okay, so if you've got through all of this, thank you for being it. What I will say is don't rush into this. I think it's really important to make sure that this is the industry that you want to go into. You want this as your business or whatever field you're in, that this is what you're going to do. Just, don't rush into it too much. Just sit on it, research, just, learn it. And there's so many webinars, seminars, online resources, you name it. Like the government website's really good, HMRC website's really good with the specific details that you need. Just reach out to people who are self-employed or look at online stuff, what they recommend, what they say. You'll be able to get a better judgment of it all overall and not find it so overwhelming, whereas you might feel now. Because, that was me and it wasn't nice. Internet can be your friend. That's it. I really didn't want to keep you long because, you don't want me going on for hours like I sometimes can. But what I will say is everyone's process is different. Some people prefer a specific way to another. As I said, it's just finding what works best for you, trial and error, and it's just making sure that at the end of the day, you do your tax return right. That's the most important bit about it. And, you get that bit out of the way, then you can do all the fun stuff with the acting. Yeah, it comes in the territory, but you have to do it. And if you're American, because I think that everyone does their tax return, fair play to you. I wish I had your knowledge of what you do. But I really hope this helps you. I really hope. I know I don't know a lot about it and I'm not very technical savvy in all of that, and I'm not certified or qualified and that sort of thing. I will never say that, but I just wanted to give you a couple little pointers of things that you can now go on to have a little bit more research into and find out more for yourself of what I think the key little first bits that you need to look into to help you become self-employed. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave you there so you can crack on with the rest of your day. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And come back for more and subscribe and all that jazz, because I've got a lot of fun things coming up for you. Woo! So yeah, thank you. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and take care. Right, bye-bye. There's me getting off my director's chair. You can't see it, but it is there. Walk away.